You know, Thunderbolt Ball is not only our evening to celebrate our sponsors and icons in the sport like Kevin and Sherry, but it's also our night to celebrate our Angler of the Year. Well, Matt Becker, he is no stranger to success. He's won at nearly every level, including the BFLs, the Toyota Series, the Invitationals, and he knocked it out of the park in his rookie season on the Bass Pro Tour. And so let's just take a moment to take a look at the season that he had.
Bass Pro Shop's Valley Bend Angler of the Year. If you ask any angler on the Bass Pro Tour, the answer will be the same. The ultimate goal of their career, Angler of the Year. If you were to ask Matt Becker at the beginning of the 2023 Bass Pro Tour season what goals he had for the year, he would tell you, qualify for Red Crest, win a stage event, and finish in the top 10 standings for the Bass Pro Tour Valley Bend Angler of the Year. Against seemingly far-fetched odds, Matt Becker would reach all three goals in the last event of the season, Stage 7. It's not a foregone conclusion in this Valley Bend Angler of the Year race. You've got Wheeler, you got Defoe, you've got Matt Becker.
Yeah, it's been an awesome year. Can't ask for much more in my rookie season on the Bass Pro Tour, but again, the sport of bass fishing is always about the next thing, so there's never enough. So you do all that, but still it's like, oh, you got to win Angler of the Year, you got to win the tournament. So there's always another goal, and that's what we're after today.
The AOY race this year was one of the tightest we have ever seen. Becker's competitors were all within a handful of points going into Stage 7. Alton Jones Jr. led in the points, coming into the final event of the season at Saginaw Bay. Becker, Jacob Wheeler, and Defoe were separated by only 3 points.
All I'm able to do is fish as hard as I possibly fish for the next hour and a half.
The goal is to get in the top 3. The second goal is to try to win the tournament.
Yes, sir. And while all 3 pros were still in contention late into the final day, it was Becker who moved up from 4th place to not only win the event, but clinch the AOY title and take home an additional $100,000.
The 2023 Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour Valley Bend Angler of the Year, Matt Becker!
Capturing the AOY title is one of the most coveted achievements among bass anglers, and Becker's peers agree it is no easy feat.
For us, for the competitors, Angler of the Year is the tough one. That means that you went out.
You beat every single angler, and you were the best angler of that year.
That winning Angler of the Year is definitely what is the main end goal at the end of every season.
It's really hard to do that. I mean, you've got to be so consistent at every single event. One bottle, Angler of the Year is out the window.
It's one of the greatest goals you can have as an angler in your career. Maybe not for each year, just as a career for me.
Probably one of the biggest that you can have, you know. You beat everybody all year long, so that's a heck of an accomplishment.
I mean, that's just a solid, solid year. You've just been good all year long. You ain't had no bad events. You knocked it down for 7 events.
Matt, I'll take congratulations, bud. I'm glad you pulled off AOY. I'm not surprised. I mean, you've improved your game every single year.
Congratulations, Matt. It's an honor and it's a great accomplishment.
To win an Angler of the Year title that young in your career, that's pretty special right there. That's going to put you out here for a long time. And I think once you have a big accomplishment like that, things kind of tend to just click better. Things go better, and I look forward to seeing how he develops as an angler in the course of the next couple of he has, just from getting that ball started rolling with this Angler of the Year title.
Anything's possible through Christ. I'll tell you guys that. If I can do it, anybody can.
Congratulations to Matt Becker, the 2023 Bass Pro Shops Valley Bet Angler of the Year.
Please join me in welcoming your 2023 Bass Pro Tour Angler of the Year, Matt Becker.
Man, that's hard for me to sit there and watch. I get a little teared up. Appreciate everyone with the kind words. Man, it's just an honor to be up here in front of you guys. For me, this is a dream for as long as I can remember. My dad had me fishing before I can even remember. So bass fishing's always been a huge part of my life. But the professional tournament thing was really just something that we watched on TV. But that was until many of you guys came to Pittsburgh in 2005 for the Bassmaster Classic. That was when I realized that I wanted to do this for a living. I remember leaving that arena that day when Kevin won, knowing that I would do whatever it takes to make this work so I could be here someday. Growing up around Pittsburgh, it didn't really offer the best bass fishing scene, but I was obsessed with it. Every opportunity I had was filled with bass fishing. I was on the water as much as I could. I can remember fishing 3 to 5 days a week as a kid in high school. I'd get off school, run down to the river, fish the 3 rivers there in Pittsburgh, just trying to practice. During summer break from school, my dad would drop me off in the morning before work, and I'd be out all day while he was at work, and he'd pick me up that evening, just out there practicing. I didn't know what I was practicing for, but I just knew I had to be out there fishing in order to be here someday. Once I graduated high school, I took a little graduation money and some grass cutting money and bought my first real bass boat. It was a 1987 18-foot Ranger. I paid $3,000 cash for it, and I thought I was in the best boat made. At this point, I started getting into more local tournaments, team tournaments like Bass Nation, TBF Federation events around the area in Pennsylvania, but I didn't really have a set goal at the time. All I knew is I wanted to fish for a living, and I felt like that was the only way to learn the path to do it. I'd sleep at the boat ramp in my dad's van that I borrowed just to get to the tournament. I can remember days where I would literally overdraft my checking account to fill up gas in the morning. I'd pay my entry fees with my last dollar that I got from cutting grass. It was never about the money for me, but it was always about the bigger picture, and that is to be right where I'm at today. Looking back at those days, it really made me appreciate the grind, the struggle, to really appreciate the tough days like I had today. Those days taught me to be mentally tough, have perseverance, and to work really, really hard. Fast forward to 2017, so I've learned the path to the top of the sport. I'm much more involved in the industry. I learned all about the different tournaments. I was working a full-time job just to pay for my fishing. I wasn't saving for a house or anything. It was all going back into my fishing. I came up with a plan to get to the FLW Tour, to get some national experience, and then I was going to consider my options to get to the highest level from there. I took a leap of faith, scraped together every penny I had to fish the Northern Division of the Toyota Series. I was fortunate enough to win the second event. At that point in my life, I had barely made $40,000 in an entire year, let alone all at once. But I knew at this point it was my chance to double down on myself and enter into the FLW Tour. I fished my first year with $0 in sponsor money, just a few dollars donated from some old fishing friends, an old fishing club that I was involved in. I went on to win Rookie of the Year, gained a bunch of confidence in myself, and somehow we've made it work, and here we are again 6-7 years later. A lot of things have changed in the industry since then, but that same passion and love for bass fishing that was in that 16-year-old from Pittsburgh has only grown stronger. That same drive, determination, and mental toughness has just continued to grow. With all the negativity in the world these days, it's easy to get caught up and discouraged. But like I said, I never got into this sport for the money, the glory, or the fame. For me, it's all about the love of bass fishing and just catching more bass. Okay, I got a bunch of thank yous that help me make this possible. First up, thank you to Winston and the whole crew at Favorite Fishing. You know, they took a chance on me a few years ago, and I'm not sure I'd even be still fishing professionally if it wasn't for them. You know, they really supported me early on and have really helped me get to where I'm at today. Thank you to Brian and Jeannie Knighton with Epic Baits. They were a huge part in my 2023 season. Thank you to all the sponsors, Fish USA, Bass Fishing Electronics, Yamamoto and Bill Lewis and the whole crew over at GSM, Seaguar, Rely on Batteries, Trickstep, Eagle Claw, Striker, Scott Hawaii, Phoenix Boats, and Weedas Marine. Thank you to Brittany. She takes care of all the stuff at the house. You know, she makes life so easy. Tournament weeks, it's literally, I can just focus all about the fishing. I don't have to worry about anything. And without that, you know, you can't do it without that support. So thank you, Brittany. This is a team effort, and we won this, not just me. Thank you to the whole family. You know, as I mentioned, my dad got me into this sport. He got me into fishing before I can even remember. You know, there's pictures of me up in diapers, bass fishing. So I have a huge thanks to my dad because, you know, there's so many paths to go in life, and he led me into bass fishing. So for that, I'm forever thankful. You know, most importantly, thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus. You know, I wear Psalms 27:1 on my jersey, which states, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?" And that last day at Saginaw Bay, last day of the season, I found myself reciting that in my head all day long as I chased down two of the greatest anglers of all time to win that day. Kevin, thank you for motivating me as a 13-year-old kid. I'll never forget that iconic fist bump moment of you winning the Classic in 2005. Your fierce competitive attitude motivated me long before we even met, and it was a full circle moment for me to be competing against you on your final season, let alone the final tournament of the year. I mean, we docked together this morning. That was super cool. That was really the highlight of my day today, was docking next to you this morning. But, you know, I still feel just a little bad about ruining your retirement party at Saginaw Bay. Thank you to Major League Fishing for the platform and the opportunity to make a living catching bass. But with all that being said, I'm truly humbled and honored to be your Angler of the Year. Thank you, guys.
Congratulations, Matt. Wonderful champion that you'll have, and that's something you'll carry forever.